So after they buffed Animo, I said that investing in the main character probably isn't a bad idea, and that the Electro subclass was pretty good. After playing with it, I said, yeah, it's really good, but I wasn't able to upgrade the talents. Now, after investing a lot more, as well as getting some of the constellations that are available, I can firmly say that this is an awesome character overall if you're trying to get energy for your team, but can also dish out some really good damage. I am more than happy with the Electro main character, and, I actually got really lucky because I do have the Festering Desire, which I really enjoyed using, but one of the most popular weapons in the game, the Sacrificial Sword, I got this to drop the day after. Like, the day after Inazuma dropped, I got this weapon, which was great because I could max it out and try it on the main character as well. And I'm very happy with this. There are multiple combinations of weapons you could use, and, even if you're using something like the Favonius sword, you can help out your team being an even stronger battery. There's honestly, so many different ways you can play this character between artifact sets and between weapons, and I've tried to do my best to test them. Now, unfortunately, I am a free-to-play idiot, so I don't got all the resin to have every single set in the game. I don't have all the resin to level up every weapon and check, well, is the Lion's Roar technically better? But I have used, Festering Desire, I've used the Sacrificial Sword, and I've got a pretty good idea of what this character could do. Now, the one thing I haven't done is build it as a main DPS. I haven't built it as a main DPS. I don't have a crit damage or crit chance sword. I don't have the Black Cliff weapons, but I don't know if this is where that character is going to shine, because the way this character plays out, I personally think you want to swap off of this character for a couple of different reasons. But if you pick up this character and all you do is throw on a level 40 Sacrificial Sword, if you don't have Festering Desire, you got a random Iron Sting, you got a random Favonius, just having this character on your team I think is valuable. If you're getting some talent level ups, those free constellations that you get, there is bang for your buck here, especially because of this factor right here. I've talked about it multiple times. Ascension of this character is the cheapest in the game. It doesn't require resin. It might require a little bit of farming, but you get all these materials through Adventure Rank. And that is a big deal. The fact that all you really need to do is farm a little bit of Mora and some experience books, it is much easier to level this character than anyone else. And so you get the added value of just being higher level, being able to get the guaranteed stats of leveling up your talents, and as you get those constellations, you are getting that built-in value here. This brought up my thunder damage from 49%, I think it was at 49%, to 62%. This was at 170, now it's at 217. And my energy regeneration, that's gone up. My energy regeneration here, it was at 3.5, now it's at 4. It might not seem like a big deal, but it all adds up when you put all the pieces together. And so, building the character like this, where all you're doing is these talents and not worrying about your basic attack, it's less books, it's less resources overall, and you get a lot of value. So let's get started looking at the pros here and why I'm really enjoying this character. Now you can see my D-Luke is at half energy here, but when I use my main character's E ability and I pick up the talismans, I'm gonna get a chunk of energy. And when I say a chunk, I mean a chunk of energy. Now, during this time, I also would get bonus energy from any particles I pick up naturally from D-Luke. So I'm just gonna slap around here, and I'm gonna give you a really good example of why this is strong on a new set of enemies. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna just pick up one talisman, so I'm not getting all of the energy. I'm gonna just try to walk over here. I've got one talisman, boom. So it's not as much energy, but when I use my ability and I'm getting particles, I'm getting huge chunks of energy back, which is super cool. But there's another piece of the pie here, and that is the ultimate ability and why it is so damn valuable. When I pop this ultimate, I'm going to do electro damage with D-Luke, but he's also going to get energy every time that lightning strikes, which adds up to quite a bit over the duration of this. You're going to see here, every single time I'm attacking, essentially, I am passively getting energy. And so if you're then pairing in some of your other abilities, you're going to have your burst ability constantly while using the main character as a battery. And if you start throwing in another Electro character, it gets even more nutty. Now, with a team setup like this, it might not be optimal, but it is hella fun. I can get the bonus attack from using double pyro, and then as I'm doing overloads, I'm building more and more energy particles so that I can pretty much constantly use my burst abilities off cooldown or on cooldown or whatever you want to call it. Between the main character, between Fischl using her abilities, it is just like a constant generation of particles. I can't even fathom. Between all these particles generated, it is honestly, it feels like cheating. I'm just constantly able to use my abilities. We can just slam it and jam it. And it's like enemies can't even last long enough. And I understand that my D-Luke is doing a lot of the damage, but being able to rotate through my abilities, you can see here, like I'm almost back into it. And if I was just to pop one more of these E abilities, I would be back into my ultimate with D-Luke. So if you want to use this character as someone like a hot swap team, which I'll show you in a minute, it can be very valuable and viable as well. Now I switched over to the sacrificial sword, and when this works, it works real nice. I can essentially just spam all of my different abilities between these different characters. Now I understand that Venti is bringing a lot to the table here, but any set of enemies in the game, especially if I'm getting this cooldown, I can pick all this up, I can spam it again, I can give all my characters tons of energy, and I need to honestly go against beefier enemies so that you can see this actually function. In a team like this with matching elements, I could easily have 100% uptime on my burst abilities. On my Diona, it doesn't matter who I use, whether I'm matching elements or I'm just using completely different ones. Hell, I don't even need more than 3 characters. I could probably even do it with 2 characters almost. Like, I'd be close. But I could do a quick swap between these characters and have almost 100% uptime because he's such a good battery, giving flat energy and increased energy recharge based on his energy recharge. So if you stack a bunch of it, it's pretty much untouchable. And I haven't even done that. Between these characters, if I'm just popping an ability, getting these bad boys, popping an ability, right? Getting those bad boys, swapping on over to our boy main character, maybe I'll even dodge once in a while, and going back to our Venti, like I'm back into it on cooldown for the most part. Like a millimeter off that. Actually, no, I would have had it. I would have had it, but I didn't pick that up, right? If I just use a couple of these abilities, it's truly incredible. Now, obviously, it would be better here. It would be better to have that 4th character, but this character, I don't know, man, it's something special. Now, with the Festering Desire, you can actually hit pretty decent, even in more of a support set, but with the Sacrificial Sword, with all this energy recharge and the chance to throw your ability on cooldown, which happens a majority of the time because you send out 3 projectiles, so you essentially have a 120% chance or 80% chance if you're hitting with 2 of them to reset your skill. Even at Refinement Rank 1, this sword is amazing. Now, I would personally rather use it on Xingqiu, but if I don't have them on the same team, then I would love the Sacrificial Sword on this character. If you've got it, you should definitely try it out. But if you want to slap pretty hard, Festering Desire is great. And then any of the 5-star weapons are obviously going to be great choices overall. You don't really need that much energy recharge because of how much value he's bringing already, but the energy recharge is a good stat because he passes this on to other characters, so you might as well double dip on that stat. As for artifacts, there's so many different options. You know, the Noblesse set, I have an Electro one, so I've been using this one. Is this optimal? I don't know about that. The elemental damage is kind of cool, but it's not amazing on him, but this one is always valuable. This is the one I'm interested in hunting because you get more energy recharge, which is going to be valuable to the team, but it's also going to increase your elemental burst damage based on it. So between this, the Sacrificial Sword, I see this set being very valuable overall. Now, you can build the Electro sets like Thunder Soother, but honestly, I feel like this character is more of a battery more than anything else. Definitely does damage, but I view it as more of a bonus. I would rather my Venti be sucking and my D-Luke be slamming and jamming with fire. And if I can enable that with the Electro main character, then I'm really happy. And if I do a little bit of chip damage on top, cool. That's a little bonus, but it really isn't my priority. And I don't care. I don't care. I still like the character. Now, I'm not going to pretend my damage is amazing, but you can see here, 3,000 on a crit, 1,500 when I'm not critting. And that's a decent amount of damage to be getting. I like that. We can debuff with Zhongli and hit a little bit harder, right? We'll do it in just a second here. Okay, 5,000 damage. But on top of that, if I buff up my teammates here, and they start using the ultimate ability, which I'll do right now, right? They're getting procs of 1,000 damage, almost 3,000 damage, and you can proc it relatively fast, right? You can see that I'm proccing that damage. So it's that chip damage, that sustained damage that you're adding in. It's not quite as strong as someone like Beto, but the main character enables Beto. So if you want to use Beto, well, guess what, boys? Now you got the dirtiest comp in the league. You get some electro damage. You get some electro damage. I don't even care. I can just stand here electrocuting everything, baby. Okay, actually, yeah, maybe I need to worry about this. Okay. Awkward. Zhongli, can you take over? There we go. It's getting electric. Now, if you start throwing in some actual elemental reactions, it starts getting pretty stupid pretty quickly, and all of a sudden you're freaking vaporizing and melting, and you can't vaporize with electricity, but you know what I mean. You can start chunking pretty good between these two characters and someone like a Diluc or a Hu Tao. You can get some superconduct. Hey, you want a piece of me? Ah! I don't know, man. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. I'm really enjoying this comp overall. And I kind of feel like I'm cheating because I pretty much always have my abilities. I just spam them. I go from one to the other. I'm overloading. I'm doing a lot of damage. And even if this isn't the best comp ever, you can throw main character into any comp, and it's essentially the same result. Now, are the electro reactions as good as maybe Vaporize or Melt? I don't know about that. I don't know about that, and that is one thing I've noticed, is Overload is definitely one of the stronger ones, and the other ones are kind of but they're still pretty fun to play with. And so, I think the only thing holding this character back is, like, if it did the exact same thing, but it was Cryo, people would probably be singing praises. If it was the exact same thing, but maybe Pyro, people would be singing praises. And I think that the Electro character is stronger than I even expected. And after my first few days, I was hyping it. I'm more hyped now. I am more convicted with that, or I have more conviction with that notion, with that thought, that Electro MC is sweet. And I think this is a great addition to the game. If you are a new player, you can really enjoy this character. And I mean, Animo was fine, Geo was fine, but this feels like a good character. This feels like someone you can throw into your teams and be happy with it, not just doing it to doing it, you know? And if you are a free-to-play player, maybe you are new to the game, you don't have a bunch of characters, right? You know, I've been playing for 9 months, and I've got a good cast of characters that might be able to do certain things better. But the fact that this character is free, everyone has access right from the start of the game, it just, I don't know, I think that it personally adds like a little bit of a special factor, because I know the majority of people can use this, abuse it, and it's going to bring value to them somewhere down the line. So that is my little bit of an updated review. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but I love the character overall, and I hope that you enjoy as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I am away right now. I filmed this video and like 3 others all on the same day. So sorry if I seem a little bit tired. I am gone visiting my grandpa, who unfortunately is very sick. And so if videos slow down from this point forward, it's just because I'm gone for the next few days. But I will see you guys very soon. I love you. Thanks for supporting me, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.